Welcome to Relax with Facts. Sit back as we explore the relationship that exists between your home and you. In the modern world, home is more than shelter. It is an apartment, a house, a shared space, a quiet room at the end of a long day. It holds furniture, light, sound, temperature, memory. But despite its familiarity, the relationship between humans and their home environment is often overlooked. Science shows that environments are not neutral. Instead, they continuously influence mood, stress levels, behavior, and even identity. Unlike natural outdoor environments, homes are controlled spaces. They are shaped intentionally, walls built, furniture placed, objects arranged. Yet once established, they begin shaping us in return. The relationship is reciprocal. Modern neuroscience shows that the brain constantly predicts its surroundings. In unfamiliar environments, this prediction requires effort. Where are the exits? What are those sounds? Is this space safe? This low-level monitoring activates alertness systems in the brain. In familiar environments, however, prediction becomes effortless. You know how the floor sounds when you step on it. You know how the light changes at certain times of day. You move through the space without conscious calculation. This reduction in cognitive effort lowers stress responses. Familiarity allows the nervous system to settle. Environmental psychology, the study of how physical spaces affect mental states, shows that layout, lighting, sound, and order all influence well-being. Ceiling height can alter thinking style. Lower ceilings are associated with focused, detail-oriented thought. Higher ceilings are linked to abstract and creative thinking. This is known as the cathedral effect. Lighting also plays a crucial role. Exposure to natural light during the day supports circadian rhythm regulation. Dimmer, warmer lighting in the evening encourages melatonin release and prepares the body for rest. Artificial lighting, particularly blue-enriched light, can delay sleep signals. Your home quietly influences when you feel alert and when you feel tired. Sound within the home forms what researchers call a soundscape: the hum of appliances, distant traffic, air moving through vents. In familiar spaces, the brain filters these sounds as non-threatening. In unfamiliar places, the same sounds trigger subtle alertness. This is why many people sleep lightly in new environments. The auditory system remains partially vigilant until patterns are learned. Homes also provide psychological territory. Humans, like many animals, experience reduced stress when they perceive control over their environment. Closing a door, arranging objects, placing items in consistent locations. These small actions reinforce predictability. Predictability strengthens perceived safety, and perceived safety reduces cortisol. Memory is deeply tied to space. The hippocampus, a region involved in memory and navigation, encodes spatial maps of environments. Over time, your home becomes neurologically familiar. This is why rearranging furniture can feel disorienting. The brain must update its internal map. Familiar layouts require less processing power. Less processing demand translates to subtle calm. Objects within the home also reinforce identity. Photographs, books, artwork, plants, and personal items serve as cues to memory and self-concept. Psychologists describe this as self-extension, the idea that possessions can function as external representations of identity. When you enter your home, you enter a space that reflects your preferences, history, and habits. This reflection stabilizes identity. Stable identity supports emotional regulation. Order and visual complexity also matter. Clutter increases visual stimuli. Each object requires small amounts of processing, even when not consciously attended to. Research shows that highly cluttered environments can increase stress markers and reduce attentional clarity. However, perfection is not required. What matters most is perceived order. When a space feels intentionally arranged, the brain relaxes. When it feels chaotic, low-level stress can increase. Temperature also shapes experience. Warmer environments are associated with feelings of social closeness. Cooler environments promote alertness and cognitive performance. The body constantly adjusts to environmental conditions. Stable, comfortable temperatures reduce physiological effort. Homes also influence behavior patterns. The placement of chairs influences where you sit. The position of devices influences how often you use them. The accessibility of food influences eating habits. Environment shapes routine, often without awareness. Research into habit formation shows that consistent environmental cues reinforce behavioral patterns. Your home is part of your habit system. Even emotional states can become associated with specific rooms. If a particular space is consistently used for rest, the body learns to relax there. If a space is associated with work or stress, tension can arise automatically upon entering it. This process is called contextual conditioning. It is subtle but powerful. People often report a sense of relief when returning home after travel. This is not merely emotional attachment, it reflects reduced vigilance. In unfamiliar places, the brain maintains higher levels of environmental monitoring. At home, monitoring decreases. Energy is conserved, the body rests more deeply. Homes also provide boundary. When you close your door, the external world becomes contained. Boundaries support psychological regulation. They separate public from private, demand from recovery. Without boundaries, stress accumulates. Importantly, no two home environments affect people in exactly the same way. Individual sensitivity to light, sound, order, and temperature varies widely. Some people prefer minimalism. Others prefer layered, textured spaces filled with objects. Personality, past experience, and cultural background all influence how a space feels. There is no universal formula for comfort. The relationship between you and your home is individual. At its core, the relationship between humans and their home environment is built on adaptation. You arrange the space. The space influences your behavior. You adjust again. It is a continuous feedback loop, quiet, ongoing, often unnoticed. As you sit here now, notice the space around you, the light, the distance between objects, the background sounds. Your nervous system is reading this environment constantly. Your home is not simply where you live. It is part of how you regulate, how you think, and how you rest. A shared space, a silent partnership, a structure that holds your routines, your memories, and your sense of safety. And like all long-term relationships, it shapes you, even as you shape it. Thank you for watching. Remember, your home is shaping you daily, so shape it with intention. Join us again soon for another edition of Relax with Facts.